Ratshaker. What an evocative name. Really feels self-explanatory, does it? Well, you'd be right and wrong. Let's just say you shouldn't trust me with virtual rats, because what seemed to be a silly comedy about rat shaking turned out to be quite the twisted horror game experience. Now fold your laundry, eat some lunch. It's time to explore just what a Ratshaker is and why I became one. Why did I even try this game in the first place is a good way to start, I think. After all, anyone willingly downloading something named Ratshaker probably needs to be inspected. In my defense, it's your fault, and I mean you specifically, Tyler. IDK why I chose Tyler, but I really hope it scared some random dude named Tyler. Anyway, my virtual crab video did well, and my torturing virtual hamsters video did even better, so clearly games that have me doing something insane with animals get views, you weirdos. But in your defense, I also just kinda wanted to shake rats. That morbid curiosity really has a way of getting to you. The game starts off really about what you'd expect: empty field, a rat in your hand, and a super hot style instruction to shake that sucker. So you do, and you gotta shake that mofo a lot, like a straight 120 seconds, only to stop and then do it again. My wrist was getting sorta tired by the end of things, not gonna lie, I swear I need a new mouse after this, pun intended. The rat doesn't make this experience any more bearable, mind you, it's just that it's either talking to me in a weird Edgar Allan Poe type accent or just half moaning in the most uncomfortable way possible as you shake it.
The answers you seek are over there.
Luckily, we make him shut up pretty quick because after the early shaking, the game tells us to squeeze him. Not just a bit, but until his eyes are straight bulging out of his skull. Now, of course, this video is about why I cannot be trusted with virtual rats, so you might be able to guess that I got curious and squeezed the rat for a bit longer than recommended, long enough even to sorta just kill it on the spot. But hey, at least I got a Steam achievement, only the second most cursed Steam achievement I've gotten for this YouTube channel. But here's the thing, the achievement was not worth it because I actually had to restart the whole dang game because I killed the rat and spent another 5 minutes just manhandling this thing. That sounded kinda sus, don't clip that. Anyway, after I shook him silly, there was a weird alien crash landing that wasn't really relevant, and then eventually a house to explore. I had no frickin' clue how to open the door though, so I went to a faraway barn on the horizon which surprisingly actually had something in it. I don't think you can guess what it was. A Looney Tunes anvil. I'm not kidding. You walk in, there's a sign that says look up, and boom, death by falling anvil. Another achievement? Yes. Restarting the entire game because I died? Yes. So we just restarted again. I became quite the rat stroker by now, so I got through the initial shaking and baking pretty quick, and after 5 minutes of slamming my head against the wall, I finally figured out how to open the door to the actual house that we needed to go inside of. The idea is that the rat shake meter at the top of the screen gets filled up when you A. Gain experience by fighting enemies, B. Shake the rat, C. Subscribe to the channel. Congrats if you chose B, that's the right answer, but if you chose C, I love you a lot more. Anyway, you shake the rat to fill the meter, and that acts like a sort of energy bar to interact with objects. Want to open the door? Shake the rat, fill the meter, then use that meter to open the door. What a riveting system. That's what I call gameplay. Now I know it might be a bit late for this, but this is where the game gets kinda weird, as if it hasn't already been a bit of a head scratcher, because the house is dim and weird and backroomsy. We go through the same house and explore like 3 times in a row in a weird looping sort of fashion, so I'm starting to think I have an idea of what the rest of the game style is going to be like. Some kind of anomaly horror, find out what's different room by room. I mean, yeah, it was kinda like that, but this game never really sticks to the same idea for long. After a few run-throughs of a relatively eerie but not scary house, things start to get kind of messed up. It gets darker, bloodier, hazier. Swarms of flying rats start to appear that kind of look like flies. The house falls into disrepair, and eventually static and gore begin to fill most of our surroundings. And this is where things get even weirder, which, yeah, get used to me saying that, because I actually started liking the rat. This creature I've been tormenting in a bizarre way becomes my only friend. Because as things keep changing, keep rotting, keeps getting spookier, the rat is the only thing that stays unchanged. Well, unchanged other than the fact that I swapped it out for Rat-chan, the anime girl DLC version. But this rat is the only constant, and because of that, it feels like my partner throughout all of this, no matter how many times it calls me Baka. Because no matter how bizarre and scary the surroundings get, at least I have my little screaming anime rodent to squeeze like a stress ball. At least I'm not alone. Does this newfound appreciation for the rat change my actions? No. What are you, a vegan? Just because I love and cherish this rat doesn't mean I'm not going to keep squeezing it to near death. Oh, or another thing, snapping it in half to light it up like a glow stick. Yeah, that one kinda caught me off guard, though I won't lie, I was kinda happy to see it happen, because this game got really dark. Not just tonally dark, but like legitimately impossible to see. I kinda got lost many times. Editor's note, I didn't realize the footage literally just says crack it when it tells you to crack the rat, and, well, okay, self-explanatory, cracking the rat is, quite the interesting way to phrase that. It's giving me some flashbacks to the cracking the hamster incident, but that time we weren't cracking it like a glow stick. Never mind. Speaking of that, now shaking the rat has an astonishing second feature. Not only does it fill the rat shake meter, it also keeps the glow up. Remember kids, when things get dark, just shake your rat silly. Oh boy, the quotes from these videos are going on the long list of reasons I will never find employment if this channel ever gets connected to my identity. Anyway, we are suitably in the full spook zone now, and the game stays there for pretty much the rest of its short runtime. Yeah, I should probably mention, this game's only like an hour long. I started playing it at like 7:30 in the morning because I wanted to get some quick experience with it to make a YouTube short, but then the bizarrety of it all just made me so engrossed that I kind of just stayed up and beat the whole thing in one sitting before bed. Because yes, I wasn't playing this at 7 a.m. because I woke up early. I'm just a weird nocturnal goon creature who never sees the sun, who sleeps from like 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. like a fat chud version of Dracula. Enough about my fat chud taco life though, back to the rats. So we explore this goopy bloody mess of a basement for a while, dying along the way plenty of times and restarting the section, which, given how slow you walk, was kind of annoying, but after that, the story starts making a bit more sense. Earlier, we kept collecting pictures of a woman, and now we see a ton of corpses and whatnot as we walk around. Now, I don't really care to give a crazy plot summary because this is more of a comedy review video than a lore recap, but long story short, the game sets us up to be some kind of murderer or serial killer type of guy. I know, shocking, who would have guessed with all these bodies everywhere? But at this later stage in the game, like the last 25% or so, I started to get tonally kind of confused as to what the game author's intent was behind the whole thing. Because despite the upswing of more tropey horror game elements, the game wasn't really getting scarier. In fact, it almost got less scary with time because it went from surreal and confusing to just another spooky bloody basement walker. That is the coolest name for a band I've ever heard. Excuse me. I think that's sort of the point though. I obviously didn't do a ton of research or conduct any insane interviews, but I think I have a good idea for what the devs were going for. I think, bear with me, Ratshaker is supposed to be a parody. Not a comedy, not a horror game, but a mildly funny, scary-ish game that sort of just mocks the average indie horror game shovelware title. You walk very slow, there isn't too much to do, the rat is overly ornate in everything he says to convey some sort of non-existent, deep philosophical theme. Okay, I can't even say my sentence trying to explain it without sounding pretentious, which is kind of the point. And everything that doesn't directly progress the game feels like it's hinting at some sort of deep lore that isn't actually there. Not because the devs are lazy, but because, again, I think that's just kind of the point. Sometimes I think these quick spooky games might just try a bit too hard to be the next FNAF with all these random hidden details. Actually, not even that. I think the devs for those kind of indie horror games just feel like they need to add in some sort of esoteric, hidden, deep stuff just because it's what the other spooky games do. So it's refreshing to see a game just sort of sit back and poke fun at that trend a bit. Not every Backrooms clone needs to be the next 12-part series on game theory. Okay. Let's stop my random opinions I formed in 2 seconds with no fact-checking. I'm here to tell dumb jokes and say really unhinged things, not actually contribute to any sort of meaningful conversation. So back on track of trying to figure out if this game's actually parody or not. I think the ending is really the final nail in the coffin of evidence. So slight spoiler warning for the ending, but like I said, the plot at its core is really that there isn't really too much of a plot. So long story short, our serial killer weird guy finally gets to the bottom of the basement, and the fancy dialogue from the rat finally culminates in us finding our murdered wife that he's been foreshadowing the whole time, just in time for the rat to say something along the lines of, "You are not the rat shaker, you are the wife shaker." Like it's some insanely deep plot twist that's gonna stick in your mind for years to come and change your life. Then the wife comes to life, kills us, roll credits. And I mean, come on. Wife shaker in a game called Ratshaker? It kinda had me giggling. That's where I really started to feel confirmation of like, okay, I don't think anyone was taking this seriously during writing or development. But also, yeah, no crap, dude. The game is called Ratshaker. We probably didn't need 2 minutes of me yapping to prove that at its core it was just kind of a silly-dilly goof game. So long story short, don't give me a rat and homicidal tendencies, or I might just treat them like a soda can I'm about to hand to my friend and shake the crap out of it. As far as a more serious / honest game review goes, should you play it? I mean, I sort of just spoiled all of it, but it's literally 3 crisp buckaroos on Steam, and it's only like an hour long, so if the premise strikes your fancy, might as well give it a shot. It's a very low barrier of entry. On the Taco Treatise, out of 10, I'd give it a nice shake, squeeze, and 6, because spooky walking simulators just aren't really my favorite genre out there, but it was unique and silly, so yeah, I'll shake it 6 rats out of 10 murdered spouses. Oh yeah, there's also a hidden ending I didn't bother getting, but there's that for any extra content and lore if your rat-loving awe just couldn't get enough of the rat touching. Alright fellas, hope you enjoyed this installment of Toasty Finds a New Game about tormenting animals in a new way. Join me next time for Squirrel Stapler. Who is making these games? Subscribe if that sounds interesting. Like the vid if you liked it. Yeah, I don't really know where I was going with that sentence. What's your favorite rodent? Answer that question and you'll be in the end of the video, just like these people on screen who answered the question at the end of the last video. Also, to hype it on mobile, join the Discord if you want to chat with some friendly goobers and my terminally online chud self. And no matter what you do, have a nice life. But come on, join the Discord. I like yapping to you guys. And thanks to Frog Wizard for being a Taco Trooper tier channel member. They're my goat. Thanks to the $1 channel members as well. Okay, goodbye, Pookies. I need to staple some squirrels. Taco out, talk out.